today's session, I'm going to explain how to use Excel as database. Okay. So I'm going to take the new task. I'll take Excel as deep. So I'm creating the task name as Excel as deep. The first question is, already we have the default Excel packages, Excel basic and Excel advanced as. Why we need to use Excel as database? Okay. So if we go with the Excel packages, how can we access the data? Row by row, right? In the previous scenarios, in the previous methods, what we did, we used the loop called each row in Excel worksheet. So by using those commands, we are processing the data row by row. So for suppose, we have very huge volume of Excel data like 10,000 rows, 50,000 rows or 1 lakh records. We have these kind of data. If we go row by row, it will take a lot of time. And sometimes what will be happen if we have that much huge data file, it will take lot of time to open itself by using predefined Excel package open commands. Either it be Excel basic package of open command or Excel advanced package of open command, whatever it may be. It may take a lot of time to open in some scenarios, and another problem is as it is processing row by row, it will take a lot of time to process the data. Okay, when we have this kind of huge data, okay, to make it fast to execute or to process the data in a quick manner, connecting the Excel as database will help us. Okay, because the database queries will work more faster than our if loops and if else statements. Okay, so if you want to process something by using loops and if conditions, it will take a lot of time. Instead of that, if we can write the select statements or update statement by using where clause in the database, those will work with more faster than standard procedure. That's the reason some scenarios will be connecting Excel as a database. Now in this session, I'll show you that how we can connect the Excel as a database. Okay. So for that, we need to go to the package called database. So I selected the database package here. See, whenever we are automating the Excel file, we'll be opening, right, the Excel file. In the same way, whenever we are dealing with the database, that might be the Excel as a database, or that might be the Oracle database, that might be the SQL server, that might be the MySQL, that might be PostgreSQL, whatever it may be. So whenever you are going to connect one particular database, first you need to use the command called connect. So I'm taking the connect command. So once I take this one, so first thing we have to define the session name. So in the Excel we will be defining the session name, right? In the same way here also we need to define the session name. So here I'll define VIPlans as a session name. Then here in the connection mode, see here two types of connection modes are there: default connection mode and the user defined connection mode. If we go with the user defined connection mode, see here we can see different data types like Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Microsoft Access, PostgreSQL, SQLite, Oracle, like this. But we don't have any option here to connect the Excel as a database. For suppose we need to connect with the Microsoft SQL Server, then we have to choose the Microsoft SQL Server. Here we have to provide the server name, and here we have to provide the database name. Then here we have to provide the username, and here we have to provide the password. Then it will connect. Okay. But here we need to connect Excel as a database. We are not going to connect Microsoft SQL Server as a database. For that, we need to go with the default one. So if you go with the default one, see here we need to build a connection string. Okay, see here we didn't get any drop down to select the Excel. If we go with the user defined, here we'll be getting, and if we proceed these steps, the connection string will be built automatically. But in the default mode, we need to build it. How to build it means, see here, I already Google the connection string type for the Excel and I pasted it over here. So here, if you observe, let me increase the font. More visible. Okay. This is my connection string. See here, the provider should be this Microsoft ACE OLEDB 12.0. And data source, the data source is the file you need to connect. See here, I took the student details because I need to connect to the student details. But in my scenario, I want to connect to the VIPlans, right? That's the reason I'll be providing the VIPlans details here. Okay. So VIPlans I'll take. See here, remember, if the type is .xlsx, we need to select the .xlsx. If it is .xls, we need to select the .xls here as well. As this is the .xlsx, I'm just replacing the student details with VIPlans. VIPlans. Okay. Then extended properties, just as we are connecting the Excel file, here we should mention that Excel 12.0 XML and headers. As we have the headers, I said that headers are yes. If your Excel file doesn't have headers, you can say no here. Okay. I'll be giving this in the comments or the description, so you can take it forward. Okay. So now I'm copying this connection string. I'll copy it. And here I'll paste. Then connection string will be built. Okay. Once it's built, remember that once we build the connection string, right after we should use the disconnect as well. Okay. What is the session name here? VIPlans is the session name. So I'm using the same name. If you don't use the disconnect, it may leads to some errors and problems. So whenever we connect, once we are done with our work, we need to perform the disconnect as well. Okay. We need to write the database logic in between connect and disconnect statements. Okay. Now the thing is, I want to access the data. Okay. So how can I access the data from this VIPlans Excel means? The select statement is, what is that? Select star from table, right? So in the same way, here also I need to mention that select star from table. But as it is Excel data, we need to mention that the sheet name as the table name. Okay. In the VIPlans file, the sheet name is VIPlans. And we followed by, we need to give the $2 symbols. In the version 11, we used to give only $1 symbol, but in the Automation 360 version, we need to provide $2 symbols. What does it mean? Is, dear bot, go to the VIPlan sheet, and star means all. Star means all. Remember that star means all. Go to this particular sheet and access the complete data. Okay. So I'm copying this select statement, and I'll go here, and here what I'll do is I'll take the read from command. By taking the read from command, if I provide the statement here, I mean select statement here, I can export the result into a CSV file. Okay. I can export this into some CSV file. I just want to export to desktop file, not control room file. So that's the reason I selected the desktop. So here in the downloads, just select one. So here I will just rename the last part just like plan details. Plan details. So if I run this now, before running, it should be in closed state. If I run this now, one new CSV file will be generated with the name of plan details, and that will be having all the data which is inside VIPlans Excel file. Okay, we cannot find the reason is here we selected the wrong session name. Okay, we need to give that the same session name what we use it for connection string. So that is VIPlans. That's the reason we got the error. Now I'm fixing that. Let me run it again. See, got executed successfully. If I go here now, the plan details CSV file has been generated, and it has all the information. But see, I want just the data in the range that is like what I'll say greater than 500. Price should be greater than 500 and less than 1000. Only that data I want. Okay. In that scenario, see, with the Excel, what we will be doing, we need to do the string to number conversion. Then what we have to do? Again, we need to build a if condition. We have to do lot of stuff. But here, simply I can write a where clause. In the condition, in the select condition, I'll write a where clause where price greater than 500 and price less than 1000. Okay. So here I am overriding. So that's the reason the previous data will be deleted and fresh data will be placed in the CSV file. Okay. If I said the append, the new data will be append with the previous data. Okay. This one we already discussed when we are discussing about log2 file. Okay. If you are not aware about that, just refer the previous video. Okay. Now I'm going to run it. Okay. Unable to access the CSV file. Why? Yeah, it's already open. That's the reason it's unable to access. That's the reason we got the error. I closed the CSV file now. Let me de-execute it. See, got executed successfully. If I open this CSV file now, all the plant details will be greater than 500 and less than 1000 only. See, only in that range data only extracted. If we have to do the same thing by using standard Excel package, it will take lot of efforts and a lot of code we need to write. At least it may get 10 to 15 lines of code, but here just we are done with the 3 lines of code. Okay. Like this we can access. And you may ask that Shashi, I don't want to save it to the CSV. I just want to utilize the data in the further steps of my program. Just like how we are using in the Excel file. Okay. So in that scenario, how we can do is instead of using read from command, we need to use the command called export to data table. Okay. And I'm taking the same string. Okay. And I'll be disabling this here. And I'll put the same connection select query here. And what is the session name here? VIPlans is the session name. And I'm providing the VIPlans. And here we need to assign this to a data table. How we assigned it to a data table in Excel while getting multiple cells. The same way here also it should be assigned to the data table. Okay. Here I don't have any data table, so I'm going to create the data table. Okay, VIPlans table. I created a data table type variable. Okay, now I select it. Then what we have to do in when we are discussing about Excel, I showed you, right, a loop which can help us to loop through the data table variable. Here also we'll be using the same loop, data table variable. So here we need to select data table variable. Okay. And here I'll select the data table. Then I need to select the table name here, and I need to create a record variable. Table to record variable I created. Then what I'll do is simple. I'll take a message box and I will print the record variable values. How can I print record variables of price and record variables of validity? So because I already told that contains header, right? That's the reason. Table row price and table row of validity. I run this now. Okay, it's giving the information, right? Like this. It will work. And now my another requirement is see here all these values in the given range, right? Greater than 500 and less than 1000. Here all the validity is there, right? Here it should be named as unlimited. Okay, it should not have like this. So how can I change this? Is for that simple I'll be using one update query. Okay, I'll remove all this stuff. I don't want all this stuff. Again I'll be going back to the database, and here insert update or delete is there, right? I'm taking this particular command here. Here also I'll defining the session name called VIPlans, and here I'll be writing a update query. Okay, here I have already some sample update query, but this is not the requirement. We need to write it for the VIPlans, right? Simple thing, update. So here I'll be mentioning the table name VIPlans followed by $2 VIPlans, and set validity as unlimited. Validity equals to unlimited, where price greater than 500 and price less than 1000. Okay, that 84 days, 79 days, all the should be removed, and the all those values should be replaced with unlimited. That's the requirement. Okay, so I'm just running it. See, this time it will be update source VIPlans Excel. It is not going to create any subfolder. Okay, I mean sub CSV file. It's executed successfully. Okay, let me go on, check here. So VIPlans, right? Here, let's see, all the details has been changed as unlimited or not. See, in that given range, all the details has been changed as unlimited. As these are greater than 1000, these values not changed if you observe. So like this, we can do that. If we have to do the same thing by using Excel, by looping and using if conditions, it is a very big task. Okay? But with this scenario, I mean, with the help of database, we can achieve it in a simple way. So like this, we can do that. So this is about using Excel as a database. Okay. So to work with more data and more scenarios and more formats, you need to aware about all those kind of SQL queries. Then only you can able to work in this method, like database method. If you are not aware about the database and database queries, it will become difficult for you to work with the databases. At that time, even though it is hard, it's better to go with the standard Excel commands. So that's all for this session. Thank you.